Dr.Sunkanna from Hyderabad Central University. Now, at present, I am working as a postdoctoral fellow in IIT Bombay. And I was the one among the 5 Dalit research scholars who were suspended from Hyderabad Central University. It was not a suspension, it was a social boycott because we were not allowed to enter into the hostels, we were not allowed to enter into the administration, we were not allowed to enter into canteens, even in public places to have any dialogue with other people. And even the fundamental right that using our vote for discrimination in elections was also taken away. We were neither allowed to use our vote nor even allowed to participate in elections. So that is why, instead of saying it is a suspension from the university, saying a social boycott the way it happens in village, rural level, when some Dalits do some mistake or do not listen to the upper caste or dominant caste, they socially boycott them. They don't allow them to enter into the mainstream. They don't allow them to take help from any other people. It was a such kind of situation in Hyderabad Central University. From the beginning, Hyderabad Central University is a agrahara, a Brahminical colony, and now it has become more Brahminical agrahara. So I am from there. Finally, after my suspension only, I could complete my PhD and I got my degree, but not from that pillar Apparao, but from other person. Then recently I joined in IIT Bombay as postdoctoral fellow. Now, when it comes to matter of this program, multiple discriminations and contemporary student politics in higher education, before going to express my observations in Hyderabad Central University and some other universities, what kind of legalized institutional discriminations. I am not going to talk about how the people discriminate Dalits and tribes and other religious minorities. I am not going to talk about it. How an education institute legally can discriminate, suppress a Dalit and tribal community. Those things, not only in Hyderabad Central University, in other universities also, it's going on. So I will talk about those things. Before that, I wanted to read a small abstract of 10 lines, which was written by Rohith Vemula. 1 month before his death, he submitted an abstract to the Department of Sociology to present a paper on social discrimination in higher education. But before his death itself, the paper was rejected by the Sociology Department. What is the abstract, why they have rejected, I just want to read in front of you. Because this is the occasion we are going to discuss about the social discrimination, caste discrimination in higher education. Just bear with me. The title of the paper is Discovering Caste Prejudice in Science Laboratories, Unheard Narratives. Rohith says that ideally, science laboratories are seen as rational, non-stigmatic avenues of research. Basic science, especially life sciences and chemistry in Hyderabad Central University, are considered as best research spaces in India. But these same spaces also have an untouched side of reproduction of caste inequality. The rampant effect of caste relations inside HCU campus with specific to practices in science laboratories define the interpersonal relationships of the students. An amicable alliance between faculty members and the authorities of these groups is largely derived by caste nexus. The interplay of caste, region, and gender are major determinant factors which affect the political structures of both laboratory spaces and classrooms. Students and faculty who comes from the dominant sections consciously or unconsciously become major actors in maintaining this subtle hierarchy. Starting from the star mark, I will talk about the star mark, what the star mark is. starting from the star mark in results notification, still till the share in career future opportunities, reservation category students face various forms of humiliation in these spaces. The lack of social capital in research institutions across the nation and abroad, non-dominant caste students are forced to depend heavily on the mercy of their professors, who were in turn the perpetrators of these hierarchies. Sometimes this form of discrimination is invisible and it is unintelligible. This paper mainly attempts to map this hidden caste nexus in formation of relationships and the impact of identity on consensus building through my 4 years lived experience in life sciences school. This paper also tries to reflect on the reproduction of inequalities in higher education spaces. This is the abstract of the paper which was written by Rohith Vemula to expose the caste-based discriminations and hierarchies in higher education. But the Department of Sociology rejected this paper. That after 1 month, Rohith left this world. That is a different thing. So, now I will enter into my observations in higher education. What kind of caste-based discriminations are going to take place? In earlier stage, like in 90s, Hyderabad Central University, even 80s and 90s, in Hyderabad Central University, whenever you apply to get admission into HCU, you have to write entrance exam. When you get into examination center, they will give a booklet to write answers. The first cover paper of the booklet, there will be so many columns: your name, father name, mother name, gender, date of birth, a caste, reason, religion, from where you are, all the details you have to fill. After filling the details, then you have to go through writing your answers. Once your question answer paper reaches to the evaluation to the professor, immediately he can see where you are from, which caste you belong to, which religion you belong to. There itself, a professor, already all Indian academics, 80% are occupied by the Brahminical professors. Brahminical, I am not taking a caste as a Brahmin. Brahminical, I mean to say the Hindutva who practices the social order of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. For them, Dalits should not enter into the campuses. So they apply their Brahminical thoughts while evaluating paper, then they give less marks. This is the legalized discrimination going on in most of the higher education institutions. So to remove this kind of open discrimination, legalized discrimination, Ambedkar Students Association fought a lot finally the star system they have introduced. They have removed that thing, but they have introduced the star system, which Rohith Vemula was talking about, the star. The star means you will go to the examination center, you write the exam, but when the results will be announced, immediately in front of your name, if you belongs to SC, then there will be a single star. If you belongs to ST, then there will be 2 stars. If you belongs to OBC, then there will be hash. So openly, an education institution placing your name on notice board and declaring that you belongs to so and so caste. And the same results paper will go to the department, and all the faculty members, even the department, the students and other research scholars also will come to know on the day itself, or even before you join in institution, the institution will come to know that which caste you belong to. From there, again, a caste-based, religious-based discrimination begins in higher education. It's not only in Hyderabad Central University, in most of the universities it is going on. And still we have been fighting, but the Hyderabad Central University is such a brand that they are not ready to remove those again, they have introduced, like 4 years back, a kind of cut-off marks. A cut-off mark is that if you are a general category, then you must cross 55 marks to get called for interview. If you are a SC/ST, then you have to cross 45 marks out of 100 to get the call for the interview. But already the faculty members who are going to evaluate your paper, they are very much aware that whose paper it is. By seeing the star mark, immediately they are giving less than 45 marks. For 2 years, Dalits and tribals, especially in research field, MPhil and PhD, they could not enter inside the campus because they got the less marks, less than 45 marks. The way institutions discriminate, suppress the Dalits and tribes to enter into the campus is legalized. I'm talking about the legal suppression by the state, by the institution. Then we have fought for 2 years. Then finally they have introduced dynamic cut-off marks. A dynamic cut-off mark says that if you are SC/ST, then cut-off is 45 marks. If a single man if anyone fails to cross the cut-off mark, the 45, then a dynamic cut-off mark says that we will go to 30. Then from there we will pick up. If there are no members in 30, then we will go to 20. But finally, the reservation category, whatever is there, SC/ST, OBC reservation, that we will fill, but we will not remove this cut-off mark. This is the way the institutions are discriminating legally with authority. And another thing is that the nature of interview. The nature of interview, after crossing all these barriers, the people belongs to SC/ST and other religious minorities and OBCs, they come for interview. According to UGC rules, when the written exam is over, the written exam marks should be there with the administration. It should not go to the panel, interview panel. But in almost all the Indian education institutions, the interview panel will keep the written test marks aside and they will call for the interview. Then they will see, okay, he belongs to SC/ST. He is having 30 marks. If I give 15 marks in interview, then he will cross 45. He will enter into general. So to stop him to enter into general, we have to give him less than 45. So he will be there in reserve category. So whatever you are, whatever your education capacity, how much capacity you have to perform your education talent, it doesn't work there because your star mark will determine your future. Even if you might have got gold medal in 10th class, you might have gold medal in +2, you might have gold medal in graduation, but when you are going to enter into Hyderabad Central University kind of institution or many other institutions, your gold medals, your ranks do not matter at all. If they want to keep you in a reserve category, they definitely keep you. These are the discriminations which are going legally. That is why Hyderabad Central University, the Dalit community decided to have an Ambedkarite organization. Earlier, there used to be a Progressive Student Forum (PSF), which was led by some communist ideology people. But finally, Dalits understood that because by depending on communists, Dalits are not going to get any benefits because the saffron and the red are two shades of one color. Once red stays, then it becomes saffron. They are not different. That is why some people, especially Professor Rashek, he is a professor in Acharya Nagarjuna University. He was the active member of ASA and he has come out from the PSF, and in 1993 he established Ambedkar Students Association. Till then, the Dalits were not able to gather like this. Dalits were not able to have any kind of their religious practices. Dalits were not ready to express what they want with the professor. Inside the classroom, inside the hostel, and even in public places, they were not having a freedom to express what they want. From that situation, ASA led to a situation that ABVP was not daring to put a poster on the wall. That was the dominance of ASA. Such a radical it has become, but in 2002, this Apparao, the criminal vice chancellor of Hyderabad Central University, he was the chief warden of Hyderabad Central University. Then he had a fighting with the Ambedkar Students Association. Then finally he filed a criminal case against 10 Dalit scholars, and in 2002, Hyderabad Central University rusticated 10 Dalit PhD scholars from Hyderabad Central University. Then again, the same criminal-minded Apparao, yes, come as a vice chancellor. And again he suspended 5 of us, and finally it led to the death of Rohith Vemula. So here I am not going to blame any dominant caste man or dominant caste, because it is our failure that we have to accept that we don't have a unified Dalit Ambedkarite organization either in +2 level or +3 level or in any university level also. It is our failure that we have to accept, and it is a boon for the organizations, whether it is a left or right or central, whatever the organization is, LSA, SFI, AISF, ABVP, whatever the organization, it is really a boon for them to attract the Dalits and tribals even at the age of intermediate and degree level, because only these people need a political organization, because their reservation and their scholarships are more important to lead their education. So at that particular juncture, they need a political platform to help them to carry their education. So we failed to establish an Ambedkarite organization in that particular level. Most of the Dalits and tribes and other religious minority people are attracted towards ABVP, SFI, AISF and NSP kind of organizations. And in that way only, we fail to establish our Ambedkarite movement all over India. Still we are fighting, we are blaming each other, but we are not uniting to fight against this Brahminical forces. And another thing is that we don't have trust on our own leaders. Because one thing we have to keep in our minds that the leaders of the suppressed communities are the real suppressors of their own caste.
Yes.
The leaders of the suppressed communities are the real suppressors of their own community, because they want only a political benefits by using our name, by using our caste, by using our religion, by using our emotions. They want gain political benefit, but they have nothing to do with the upliftment of the Dalits and other tribes and other religious minority people. So we have to be aware of those people, and we need to have the unity all over India, whether it is a BAPSA, whether it is ASA, or whether it is any Dalit organization, or whether it is any tribal organization. If we don't have a unified Ambedkarite organization all over India, then these kind of caste-based discriminations, legalized caste-based discriminations will be going on in higher education, and as long as we are isolated, we will not get much support. We will finally be suppressed. My forefathers were suppressed based on this caste discrimination. My father was suppressed, and even I myself suppressed and kicked out of the campuses. And even if we will be isolated in this same way, my children, my grandchildren also will be in the same position. Only thing we have to do that, we have to realize what should be our plan, how we should be united. Instead of having differences within the Dalit community. Yes, a Dalit of Maharashtra, a Dalit of Andhra, a Dalit of Telangana, there will be a cultural differences, there will be food cultural differences, there will be religious differences, there will be identity differences, there will be racial differences. But these all differences should not become an obstacle to be united. Finally, we are the suppressors of the Hindutva forces. We were suppressed for centuries and centuries by the Hindutva forces, and this suppression should lead us to be united and to lead Ambedkarite movement and to work for the upliftment of Dalit community. Thank you very much. And once again, I thank ASA for giving me opportunity to express my views on caste-based discriminations in higher education. Thanks a lot. Jai Hind.